Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Ooni of Ife is yet again alleged, rumored, reported to have fired 2 recalcitrant elders for ganging up against Olori Naomi. Hey, I laugh in pidgin English. It's not a small something, no. You guys have not seen anything. You never chichamchen. If all of these stories we keep hearing is the truth, you know that you people will continue to somersault and somersault and somersault until you leave Olori Naomi alone. Now, we got this report that states that Iyamifa, who came from Angola, had arrested 2 cats and put them inside a cocoa bag. And the cat had thought that, the women had thought that Olori Naomi was going to sleep in the palace because during the purification exercise for the Ooni of Ife, Naomi had come to support the husband. But when she came late. They were not expecting her to return back to Akure at that night. But they said she didn't even return back to Akure, but she was not in the palace. She didn't sleep in the palace. Apparently, a very great arrangement was made for Olori Naomi. The reason why Olori Naomi cannot sleep in the palace yet is because she has not finished her cleansing. That the throne requires her to finish her cleansing and be returned back into the palace the way she left the palace. To be welcomed back into the palace like a new bride. Okay, that is what the laws of Ile Ife requires the Oni to do to bring her back. Okay, so when she came back, when she heard that Kabiyesi was going to go through a purification that was likely to be very cumbersome for him because of some of the things he has taken, they said most of the things that are, causing all of these problems in the palace are not majorly external, that they are internal, that he has taken a lot by virtue of the fact that he's had intimacies, he's been having intimacy and all of that. And these women, as it is alleged, as it is rumored, no be me talk na here, oh, hey, Daylight. See, oh, na hear me self, I hear, okay? Now, they said due to intimacy, he has taken a lot. And you do know that from what we are hearing, that the Oloris love him so much, they want to be with him. They are doing everything to ensure that Naomi does not return. They feel that Naomi is going to be a big hindrance. If Naomi returns back into the palace, they will not have a place, they will not have a stake in the palace and all of that. And that is the same reason why they have been fighting Olori Naomi over and over again. Now, as we are hearing this story, as we have been hearing, they said that because of all of this, Iyamifa now decided that Oni will have to do some purification and made it clear that that purification was going to be very cumbersome for a man like the Oni of Ife, which they said, of course, it was at the end of the day. So Dr. Elizabeth was there and Queen Naomi had to come so as to support the Oni of Ife. Now, when Naomi came, they had thought that Naomi was going to sleep in the palace, so they would go and attack her. But they didn't know that Naomi was not going to sleep in the palace. So these 2 women entered, allegedly, and they became cats. They turned to cat and they entered. And when they entered, they didn't know that they don't set trap, keep for that dog where we say no, they ever hear word, okay? And now so they say Iyamifa caught them as cats. When Iyamifa caught them, Iyamifa knew that they had come to attack Olori Naomi, put them inside a bag and kept them. Then the next morning when they didn't come back, and their husbands now raised the alarm, and that was the alarm that brought them to the palace. So when they got to the palace, Iyamifa was able to open up to explain everything that happened to the Ooni of Ife. So Ooni of Ife then knew that it was a very serious conspiracy, that the husbands were even aware. They knew what the wives were trying to do, how the wives were trying to hurt Olori Naomi. Instead of them to tell the women not to do that, they sat down there, they monitored. Iyamifa explained to the Ooni of Ife that you see these 2 men, when the women left, they sat down there, they monitored the women and waited, thinking the women would come back. And it was when the women did not come back that they began to raise alarm, stating that, something had happened. That was how they found their way into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. Now, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, De La Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the source. It's still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. I thank you. I show Adukbe, my people. Thank you so much. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell. And do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, as we are hearing what is going on right now, the alleged and rumored and information that is making the rounds on social media right now is that Iyami, these men came and begged the Ooni of Ife to tell Iyami to release their, Iyami to release their wife. Their wives. And now Ooni of Ife has decided to fire them, like remove them completely, not to ever come anywhere near there or the palace again because of this crime that has been committed against Olori Naomi. That, what has happened? These were part of the elders that were still supporting the Ooni of Ife to bring Olori Naomi. But this time, what they did was, when they are talking in the assembly, they will keep quiet and act as though they are in consonant with bringing back Olori Naomi. Then Ooni of Ife will think that this group of elders that I have are actually supporting me, not knowing that they were not the ones doing the work. They had their underdogs, their wives, who were still working tirelessly to ensure that Olori Naomi does not return back into the palace. Because if that is not the case, what do you call this kind of thing that your wives left their bodies and went to hurt Olori Naomi? You sat down there waiting for them to return back and give you a result. When they didn't return, you now got up. You knew exactly where to go to, where to look for them, what is happening, because these men were aware of what the women were about to do, and they didn't deem it fit to try and tell them not to do it. They didn't deem it fit to try and maybe call the Ooni of Ife's attention. They didn't deem it fit to try and advise them that, look, this matter has been stretched. Let it be. Let the will of God be done. They sat down there because they supported everything. And now they had the bogusness to come to the Ooni of Ife, demanding that Ooni of Ife would tell Iyami to leave their wives alone. The truth remains that the kind of man Ooni of Ife is, I know that Ooni of Ife will forgive, but of course, what he wants to do physically is what he has done, as we are hearing. I'm going to bring you more updates. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.